My mama was an expert. I'm telling you, my mother was an expert. Well, welcome to Lighthouse Church of Restoration, where do you know what's yours is the message today. Coming from Luke chapter number 15, and I'm going to start at verse number 25. It says this. Now his elder son was in the field, and as he came and drew nigh to the house, he heard music and dancing. How many of us in our own minds, you coming off a hard day work and you hear music, people dancing, having a good time. And so in verse number 26, he says, and he called one of the servants and asked what these things meant. Can I ask anybody here what you already think it meant? Somebody having fun. Somebody, as Sister Chatfield has said, somebody having a what? A party. Well, wait a minute. It's the wrong time of the day for the party. Do you all really realize that? And what's more of a problem for this young man is the fact that ain't nobody called me. Can I talk to our hearts this morning? Because that's really where we went in error. We will go in error because nobody, watch this. We are so important that it can't be a party until I get there. Matter of fact, they didn't even call him and ask him to come to the party because he out there working, and now I'm mad. Can I take you down this trip? Because, see, sometimes we mess up by the fact that we wasn't the center of attention. Well, if I don't help y'all, I'm going to help me today. Because, see, I realize that since you ain't called me for prayer, you can't get healed. Y'all like y'all don't feel that way sometimes. Because, watch this. If they call somebody else for a loan, you glad they didn't call you, but you mad because they called somebody else. Because you were the center of attention because you thought you had it going on. Because that's supposed to be your cup partner, the one that can't do nothing unless they call you and find out. Can I help somebody today? That's called a Pharisee syndrome. Because I'm better. I'm holier. See, I told you, you already knew how to. See, this is the boy's problem. And he's the eldest child. The oldest child, according to parental rights, parents have the authority to request you help your brother and sister get better. Well, your Heavenly Father wants all of us to help our brothers and sisters get better, but we get mad. Can we help you today? Watch this. In 27, there's an answer to my problem. But I'm mad, Paula, because nobody asked me what my opinion was, William. Here we are. 27 said, and he said unto him, what? Thy brother is come. Oh, we got a problem now, Evangelist Paul here. We really got a problem now. Because remember, that's the joker that got the money and left. Man, I wish I could just talk about this thing the way I feel it in my heart, because there's a very important message in here that's found earlier in the scriptures that says when the younger brother went to his dad and asked him for his portion, I said, Sister Paul here, he didn't deserve no portion. Anybody would be real today and say you said the same thing? How in the, watch this, because I know what happened. If he was the younger son, mama kind of catered to him a little more. Is that not right? You know the baby boy. Well, he don't need to be out there in that sun that long. But the rest of us out there, what? In the sun, all day in the sun, and now he talking about he ain't even deserved this. We had the farm before daddy and mama got him. We picked the corn. We picked the wheat. Can I give you one more point? And I'm getting a little ahead of myself. The fact of the matter is, one theologian said it something like this. He said that the dad had the power to not give him anything. I got to see somebody don't believe me, so I gotta go to my little notes here and give you. If you look at Deuteronomy, and you don't have to go to it right now, but just write this down. Deuteronomy 21:15 simply says this. It says, "If a man have two wives, and one beloved, and another hated, and they have borne him children, both the beloved and the hated, and if the firstborn son be hers that was hated," 16 says, "then it shall be, when he maketh his sons to inherit that which he hath, that he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn before the son of the hated." Watch this. I'm going to mess somebody up now. You can't, just because you like the baby daddy better than the other baby daddy, you can't mistreat the firstborn. Here it is, when we back in Luke, there's already a what? A firstborn son, because it tells us specifically that it is the what? It's the younger son that asks his daddy, "Give me mine." Can I make a case for him, Mr. Chatfield? Because see, first of all, if you younger than me, you ain't got no business wanting nothing. I had to research it, Sister Chatfield, because my thought processes was it all went to who? The firstborn. But watch how good God is to us. God gives us a portion. People say, "I can't get mad." It wasn't mine. It was whose? My Father's. Can I help somebody today? Do you know what's what? Yours. Watch this. And it's so beautiful to me. When we get to 28, here's the problem. And sometimes we better off admitting the problem than we are not. Look what he says. And he was what? See, once you admit you mad, now God can help you. I mean, really. Some of us trying to act like in church we ain't mad. Can I help us with some of the things we mad about? You know that was my program from when I was first got into church. It was my program, and now you don't give it to sister somebody. Now you're mad. Well, why are you mad? They're taking your program and making it better because your Father in heaven has instructed them how to get more out of your program. And the truth of the matter is, it was never your program. That's why we were mad. God gave it to you, and you know how we get sometimes. I ain't going to say y'all, how I get sometimes. Since it was my program, I'm going to put my twist on it. God, you know, God, that I don't want Brother Hay children in lead on the program. So now I got to go back and get my grandson and make him the lead so that he can get popularity. Wrong what? Motive. He was mad. Watch this now. I guess I do need to give you a little bit more framework. The boy in the house, the younger brother in the house, everybody hollering and yelling, saying, "Yeah, we glad you back home." And now all of a sudden the eldest son come out the field hot and sweaty, Nobody brought him a towel. Nobody brought him any water. He dusty. And they in there having a good time. Now, let me throw something else in, because see, some of y'all ain't feeling this yet, because y'all trying to figure out what he was mad about. He got the best lamb. According to the word of God, they killed the one that didn't eat out there in the field. They were bringing this lamb, corn, fed him so he'd be fat. That's what they called him, the fatty calf. And so now all of a sudden, I knew that was a Thanksgiving meal, but all of a sudden this is June. As a matter of fact, it ain't even June yet. And they got that fat one in there, the best one out the whole bunch. And somebody in there playing music like ain't no tomorrow. Everybody having fun. Watch this. But me. Because remember, I told you this was all about who? Me. Because they didn't call me first. Didn't ask me if I wanted to have some. But they're in there having a good time. So now, according to the word, I'm mad. 28 said I'm angry. And then I'm not going to even go in the house. Anybody ever been there? Before you really got saved, you was mad. You didn't care what nobody said. You were just mad. But you don't even know what's yours. Can I help somebody today? Because this Peaches just ate me up because I was like this. I was like this because how dare mama and daddy go have something for Elaine? Watch this. Can I talk today? Because see, some of y'all acting like y'all don't understand it. My birthday was 4 days before hers. I could never have no birthday party by myself. Because every time we had a birthday party, we got to have one together. It might have not have been a birthday party, but watch this. You couldn't get no clothes. You know how we used to go to J.M. Fields? You couldn't get no clothes unless everybody got some. Well, it's my birthday, mama. Am I talking to somebody this morning? Because I told you this is a Pharisee type attitude. Watch this. One more thing I got to throw in there for us to really understand the complications of this is we serve God. And watch this. This boy is going to even tell his daddy, so I ain't never did nothing wrong to you. Everything you asked me to do, I did it. I never, some of y'all Holy Ghost filled people around here looking at people now talking about, Lord, I ain't never left the church. And soon as somebody leave the church, Bishop, you go running out there after them, talking about come back to church. Am I talking to us today? God convicted me about this. You know what I said about some people? I said, I ain't going out there Nick and William. This is what I said about y'all. I said, that's y'all job. Y'all go out there and bring them back. I ain't going out there to get them. That ain't my job. Well, look how I justified it, Minister Hay. I said, well, my job is to stay and pray and make sure I got a good word. I'm talking to preachers now. Sometimes the preachers need to be the one go get them. Do you know what's yours? See, when you really, I can't go there yet. He mad. But I love in that same 28th verse what God will do for you. You won't come in. God said, I'm coming out. That's what I love about him. You know, sometimes you be right now talking about what you won't do. And God said, you ain't got to do nothing. I'm coming. I'm on my way. Matter of fact, I knew you were going to do that. So look at what it says in 28. He would not go in Therefore, look at your neighbor, say, therefore, came his father out and what? Entreated him. What, but Jeffrey, can I act like I'm kind of halfway a father every blue moon? If I had to right about it now, I'll say, well, Ben, why you ain't at church today? Not that he couldn't have came. He's somewhere. But he could have came. But I'm not going to wait for him to come in. I got to go get him. Can I talk to the congregation this morning? Some of you at home. Why have you not gone out and got somebody and brought them in? Because every now and then they're gonna tell you, well, I don't like what Bishop preached. He ain't have no business preaching my business in the church. Yes, he did. Because if you don't get it in the church, where you going to get it? Yeah, somebody going to try to puff you up and make you feel good. But watch what happens. Verse 29. The word of God says, and he answering said to who? His father, lo, what? These what? Watch this. Look at your neighbor and say, are you boastful? See, not the first thing that he messed up with. He boastful. He going to tell the father, like the daddy didn't know. How many of you know God already know what you done done? But what, look what he says now. He said, lo, these many years do I serve thee. Well, wait a minute. you serve me for nothing? What, can I talk for just a second? Just lose my mind for a minute? You don't remember when you put your little dirty feet under my table, that was my food. And if it's God talking, watch what God might say to you. You don't remember that was my strength you used to go out there and work. Am I talking? Do you know what's yours? It wasn't your strength. It's not your table. It's not your food. It's not your what? House. Watch this now. It's my house. Oh, Lord, listen, he better be glad James Benjamin Williams Sr. wasn't in there, because he tell you real quick, tell you, look here, I'm the one providing the stuff in this house. But it was none of this was yours. But watch what he tells his daddy. I do serve thee. Neither. Watch this. I hope none of y'all ain't talking to God like this. Neither trust I at what? Any time thy commandment. Well, Sister Ann, can I give you one time that I did and something happened to me? Evangelist, one time I rolled my eyes and boom, I don't know what else happened. All I know is I was getting up off the floor. Am I talking to anybody? And more especially, am I talking to church people? Because church people are the worst kind of people when they feel like they're holy and righteous. We begin to tell one another, watch how we call ourselves going to call a committee. Well, you know, Sister Paula, that was my committee. Can I talk for a minute? I ain't talking about Sister Paula. Sister Paula could tell us at Lighthouse, say, well, you know, the Pure Rally was what? My thought. My program. But she realized that nothing she owned was hers. And so what she said is, go ahead and make it happen. So here we are, y'all. Here we are, y'all. Neither trust I at any time against thy commandment. And yet thou never gave me what? Let me help me. Because apparently I'm not helping y'all. Why would I want a kid, which is a baby animal, when I could have had the whole thing? Am I in the house? You right. Paul, can I say it like this? Boy? Isn't that the way Hattie would have said it? Boy? They don't even call your name after a while. They get so mad at you, they just say, boy. They don't forgot who you was. I'm glad God don't ever forget who I am. But here we are. You didn't give me a kid. And watch what he want to do with it, Paula. That I might make merry with who? Can I talk to us this morning? Because we need to understand something. One thing James and Vivian taught me, and I know he taught my sister too, family was more important than friends. And more especially the family of God is more important than somebody I hang out with every now and then. Watch what he says secondly. Verse 30. But as soon as this thy son was come. Wait a minute, hold it. Because some of y'all going to miss this, but I got to bring this out. Notice what it ain't even my brother. I went back there in the Old Testament when Adam, not Adam and Eve, but when Cain and Abel, God asked a question, say, where is your brother? Am I my brother's keeper? Here it is right here. I am my brother's keeper. As a matter of fact, what I should have did is I shouldn't have let him go off by himself. Y'all missed it. You missed it. You missed it. Because I'm his what? Big brother. I know the boy ain't never been off the farm. Can I say it that way? He never been off the farm, and so somebody going to take advantage of him. Watch what, if we look back early in the text, he going to say the boy was out there spending his money on harlots. But if I'd have went with him, thank you, evangelist. See, that's what we miss sometimes. We the problem. We let people get in places that we know they can't handle. Anybody guilty of that? I got some friends. I know good and well they couldn't handle the club. But I went out to the club with them. But guess what happened? When I left, they left. Y'all missed it. Sometimes you can go places, but you know how to get out of it. I heard the prayer this morning from the evangelist telling Jaden, remember. That's what we got to do, saints. We got to remember. Listen, not every one of us was a Pharisee from the beginning. We went through some stuff. Matter of fact, we said some stuff we wasn't going to do. Only for God to say, okay, what you going to do? Here we are. Watch this, saints. Watch this. He calls his father's son his son, which means he's not his brother. Then he goes on to say, which hath devoured thy living with harlots. There is no place in the preceding verses that said the boy spent money on harlots. What he's trying to do is invoke his dad to be so mad with his brother that he put him out the house because he can't stay there, and me too. Y'all missed it. Sometimes, watch this. Sometimes in the church, I can't go to the same church she go to. You don't say it like that, but you show it like that. Because you're looking for somebody to invite you to another church so that you can say, I wasn't getting the word over there. What the problem was, you wasn't listening. Let me stop. Watch this. And watch what else he say. Because, see, he really trying to cut his father to the chase. He wants his father to understand, I'm your boy. He ain't your boy. So he says to him as he closes, not only did he go spend his money, thou hast killed for him the what? you give him the best. 31. I'm almost done. Watch. Anybody daddy like this? This almost reminds me of my daddy, but he does it a little differently. Because my daddy would have said it simply like this. That's my stuff. But I like the way God talk. God don't say that's my stuff. God just let you know I'm in control. But watch what his daddy say. Watch what his daddy say. And he said unto him, watch what he said. Son, you acting as if I'm not your father. Can I go back to the parable when Jesus is talking in the parable? He said, what good father would give his son a serpent instead of a fish? What father would give his son a stone instead of some bread? That's what God be smooth. God say, listen, I don't even want to pay attention to that stuff you talking about. But see, because Williams got to preach this one Sunday, I got to let you know that I'm not like that. So he said unto him, son, thou art what? With me. Ever with me. And oh God, here's what made me shout. Minister, this is what made me shout. Sister, this is what made me shout. And then he turned around and said, and all that I have. Do you know what you have? Lord have mercy. I can't preach that the way that I really want. If you could feel it on the inside of me, you'd be bubbling over now. Because see, you would realize that it no matter what happened, he didn't even realize what he had. There was more than one fatty calf. See, y'all, sometimes there was more than one room in the house. So if you got to be mad, can I say it like this? Go to your room. But come on in the house. Watch it. It's hot out there. Come on in here. We got food in here. We got music in here. We having a good time in here. Somebody don't want to come in. What did I say about Bishop? Well, he going to talk about Trump again today. No, I ain't talking about Trump right now. I'm talking about two brothers. No, we coming. Listen, Paul, I don't know about him. I'd have sure went on up in there. I might have been in a pouting, but I'd have went in there. It's hot out there. Watch this. More important than being hot out there are demons out there. When I come into the house of God, there's protection there. Oh, thank you, Mother. Thank you. I just can't get over that. When he says, thou art what? Ever with me. Thou. Son, I took notice that you didn't leave me. When I had to get the rest of that stuff out of the field before it rained, I know you were there. But what you miss, son, is everything I have is yours. Do you know that that's what God is saying to us now? God is saying to Lighthouse. He's saying what evangelist is. He's saying to all of us, everything I have is yours. God is saying, I don't need this stuff in heaven. Every place where the rain falls is yours because it can produce. Everything that I have belongs to you. But I hear the Spirit of God saying right now, but will you share it? Sometimes we get selfish. Here we go. I got to stop it. Watch what he says as we close in 32. It was meet that we should make merry. And to be what? Why? For this Thy who? Was what? He was dead. We ain't know. Watch it. Did we know where he was? Why didn't we know where he was? Because you didn't follow him. You didn't go see about him. You thought it more important to make sure that I knew you were still there instead of going and bringing somebody back home. And it was your family. Well, even if it's your cousin, I'll be doggone Elaine, Vivian Elaine. If Earl Medlock had went somewhere and Doris Elizabeth would have looked at me and say, Papa, where your cousin? You better go get your cousin. That's the way family was when I was growing up. It didn't matter if they might have not stayed in the same house, but if all them sisters and brothers would have been saying, well, why didn't you go get him? Dolores, hey, can I call your name right now? That's what the same thing when somebody said something about somebody that was my cousin but was William next door neighbor, said he was doing something he had no business. William called me. We need to go see him. Who we going to see, saints? Some of y'all don't even know who lived next door. So Chatfield, guess what? I got a new neighbor moving in. The one thing they're going to know is that's the church man. They might not play the music quite as loud if they know I'm the church man. I know I'm making it kind of funny, but see, let's get the playing field right from the beginning. What church you attend? I got a little church, ain't many members there, but one thing we gonna do, we gonna pray and we gonna serve the Lord. What you doing over there? Watch this. And if you need some prayer, just let me know. We got a prayer line at church. Am I talking to us? Saints, the problem is not the sinners. Do you know what's yours? If I know what's mine, I won't be talking about what somebody else got. The cattle on what kind of hill? Is mine. I'm done. Lord help us. I got much more to say, but I think the gist has been told, because he's still my what? My brother. This boy don't tell me your son. I ain't going in the house. Well, where you gonna live? Where you going? Evangelist, I'm saying this kind of funnily, but I remember I was watching a cowboy movie, Bud Chatfield, Nick, and the guy said to the other guy, he said, when you see the sun rise, that's my land. He said, when you see the sun go down, that's my land. But guess what? If I'd have been one of the screenwriters on that, I would have said that's God's land. Huh? Because, you know, I hear what you're saying, and I get the contents of what you're saying. But that ain't yours. That belongs to God. And that's the only one. Watch this. What's going to have to happen to that guy? He going to die. It ain't going to be his long. But where you going to spend eternity? Yeah. Listen, somebody at home, I heard him say in the spirit, say he don't lost it. Yeah, I have. But I love some things that God is revealing to me now. As I said before I started, I've heard the prodigal son story since I was in Vivian's arms. She was rocking me, and they've been. But no, I don't know. Somebody may have. I don't remember nobody preaching about the boy. His brother. The brother had the problem. He didn't know what was his. He had everything. According to the scriptures, the firstborn son always got a double portion. But because he stayed with God, or with his father, he had it all. But watch the problem that would have happened. The second part of my message said this: don't go to hell for somebody else. His brother was going to make him go to hell, and he went to heaven. How can you say that? Because the brother repented. He came back home. He repented. But the boy wanted to stay outside. Outside the will of God, saints. I don't care what somebody do to you. Don't you never let them make you stay outside. Think about it, saints. You out the will of God. The God tells us to do what? Forgive. Christ on the cross saying what? Forgive. And then the boy is talking about, man, you don't mess me up. Talking about a what? A fatty calf. About one. Watch what somebody else might say. I know you was the one hit my car. Well, the kid out there playing ball. Sometimes you can't control the ball. The ball hit your car. I'm sorry, sir. I told your mom and dad about you. Take them up to the park. Be nice sometime. You can get another paint job. Guess what? The boy parents might have said, yes, Johnny did hit your car with the ball. Tell us how much it costs and we'll get it fixed. But now you you mad. 30 years later, you don't fell out there in the yard, little Johnny walk by and say, man, get up off that ground yourself. Y'all, sometimes we don't think about consequences. Are you making somebody go to hell from your decisions? I'm done. We had a heck of a service today. God dog it. You don't even have to manufacture a good service. God just show up and show out. Listen, 3 things we need to do before we go. We've already did one of them. We had prayer. For you all at home, but we got to offer you Jesus. You got to say Jesus. It ain't about all these fans. You know, people don't got so educated now. They calling Jesus by what the Hebrews called him. I don't know him by that name. Can I say that? I don't. My grandmama said Jesus. And guess what? When she called on that name, something happened. And when something happened, people's lives were changed. I got to say this. I never will forget this. My mama told me, she said, Papa, that's what my mama called me. She said, Papa. She said, Papa, I can't tell you what you're going to do about the Lord. You wasn't the one made the promise. She said, I promised God that I was going to serve him. And I'm sitting there scratching my head, listening to what my mama don't say. And she said, and he has never failed me. I remember her brother Chatfield telling me when I said, Mama, you're going to give all the food away. We ain't going to have nothing for us. She said, Papa, she said it again. She said, Papa, my mama told me that I once was young, but now I'm old. But I've never seen the righteous forsaken. Nah, his seed begging bread. And guess what, saints? I ain't never been hungry a day in my life. I might not have had what I wanted, but I sure had more than I needed. For those of you at home, I want to say again, it's that same Jesus that was raised from the grave. Muhammad's still in the grave. I don't know about those other names, but they still in the grave. But this man named Jesus got up. And when he got up, he didn't just get up. He had all power in his hand. And he had some do-right power when I didn't even want to do right. He had some holding power when I didn't even want to be held on to. He straightened me up. And for that, I can be glad. For those of you at home, make a decision. You might not like the way I said it. Find you somebody that you like the way I said it. and find this Jesus, that man can make a difference in your life. Listen, we gone. We'll see you on the next time. Matter of fact, I got a correction I need to make from Tuesday night Bible study, but I'll make it Tuesday night. But y'all need to know that it wasn't out of malice. But when I find that I've done wrong, I'm going to make it right. So until we see you again, may God bless you. May heaven smile upon you is our prayer. Amen. Enjoy your Memorial Day.